What is going on, guys? Quad, focus legs today. Change things up just a little bit because I'm shortening my rest periods on these. So I'm going just a little bit lighter than I usually would. Still trying to get at least 10 to 12 reps on these. And the other thing that I'm doing different is basically making sure that the pad goes all the way to the resting position. So I'm starting each rep basically from a dead stop, which I'm already 2 sets in, and I can tell you that has been putting a hell of a lot of stretch on my hamstrings right now. Aside from that, cut has been getting better as far as figuring out my calories and what food combinations I can, come up with to make sure that I'm hitting my macros and calorie intake for the day. Didn't film. I was gonna film Wednesday on my back day, and when I tell you that I was just so exhausted, so out of it, and just did not have the mental bandwidth to really even do any of that. It's pretty much a miracle that I even made it through the workout. It was one of the worst workouts that I've had in a very long time. So, didn't even bother filming that. So here we are, getting ready to go in the last set. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, that puts a hell of a stretch on my hamstrings. So at least they're nice and loose, nice and warm now. Let's go ahead, probably do a warm set of squats, and then get into 3 working sets of those. Probably try and stay a little bit higher in the rep range on those as well. So I just finished up first set. And this, I don't know if it's because I'm using different plates or what, but this is technically less weight than I did last week. Like almost 100 pounds less than I did last week, and it feels just as heavy. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, because I had on 2 100-pound plates on each side. So that right there is 400. And then a 25 on each side. So that's 450. This is 4 45s on each side. So this should be, 360. So that's almost a 100-pound difference. Yet this feels just as heavy. And it really should. So on these, I'm resting just a little bit longer because they are so It is such a taxing movement where I find that a little bit extra rest beneficial, but still probably not gonna push it past 3 minutes. See where we're at now, which we're almost at that 3 minute mark. So take another sip and begin this next set. I think I know what it is. Someone put an additional platform on top of the platform to raise it up a little bit, to be able to get a little bit of a deeper stretch before bottoming out the machine. So it's now, from what it seems, is that it's operating in a different tension range. So that makes sense. That's all right. I've already done 2 sets now. I'm just gonna roll with it. Got 1 set to go. We've got 1 more set to go. Trying to keep these between 6 and 10 reps. Past couple I've hit about 8. Knowing I probably had at least 1 more in the tank. So this final set, I'm gonna try and at least push to 9. Good shit. Got 9 reps in. Maybe could have pushed for a 10th rep, though it wouldn't have been very pretty. So I'm gonna unload these weights, and then we'll be jumping into some extensions. As we're getting ready to go into set 2 of extensions. And I had to lower the weight just a little bit, because I really want to stay around 10 to 12 reps for these. In that first set, I just barely got 10. So lower the weight a little bit. Should end up hitting my goal. Still, even though I lowered it, just barely hitting 10 reps, which you noticed, very similar to how I was doing the seated leg curls, pausing all the way at the bottom. Well, in this case, the bottom of the movement. In the case of the curls, at the top of the movement. In that deepest stretched position, pausing, and then basically starting the rep from a dead stop. Puts, especially in that stretched position, puts an insane amount of tension on the muscle through that first portion of the movement. We got one more set to go, and then do some hips. And I gotta try and figure out something that I can do calves on. I might end up just having to suck it up and use one of these leg presses. Let's get this last set. There we go. One more. My damn leg is thick. And that machine is so bad. Those absolutely sucked. But I hit 10 reps like I wanted to. We got 2 sets to go on hips. Go knock those out. And like I said, try and figure out a way to do some calves. So I've only been resting a minute and a half in between these sets. A little bit of time. But I don't remember, or I don't know if any of you that watched my quad video last week, I don't remember if I posted one actually. In any case, if I did, you watched it, I believe I was talking about using the lower foot pad to put the legs in a more stretched position. So I already did that for set 1. And it's crazy how much more of a stretch it gives inside the inner thighs. Let's go ahead do this last set and do some calves. That stretch is so good. Sucks, but it also feels good at the same time, if that makes sense. All right, might have to give me a minute, figure out what the hell I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it. May or may not film the sets of calves that I do. Just depends. But either way, afterwards we'll check out the leg pump. So I decided that I was gonna show you guys this last set only because this leg press machine is cool as hell. I've never seen one like this before, where you probably tell it's got like this angled portion that angles up, then it's got this flat portion. Then down here at the bottom, it's got this like separate little pad, which I can only assume is like specifically for training calves. And I've never noticed this thing before. So, like I said, this thing is cool as hell. Ugh. I will say, puts a hell of a stretch on the calves too, which I can appreciate. So that's it. We are finished up with the workout. We're gonna go check the pump real quick, and then I'm gonna finish off with about, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes of cardio. We're just gonna check it out real quick. But, new vein, maybe. I always like seeing that shit. Kind of trippy. Kind of nerd out on it. Just, I don't know. It's cool to me, and it's almost motivating. Like seeing new progress, you know. Anyways, that was a good workout. Very solid pump. I'm gonna go hit some cardio now, because I've been slacking this week. As always, let me get that out right. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.